You're welcome back, and if you're just joining us, the program is so Good Morning Abuja. And on to my next conversation, we'll be looking at extracurricular activities to improve or aid learning in our schools. And to do justice to that is an expert in the field, and I'm talking about Mr. Una Otemen. You're welcome to
Thank you
the
very much for
studio,
having
sir.
me.
And it's
you
good
so
to have
much.
you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining
It's my pleasure.
So, sir, how do these activities contribute to the well-rounded, education beyond the academic learning?
You know, like, first of all, like you rightly said, extracurricular activities that are done outside the normal classroom learning, teaching
Okay.
learning process that we have. So for you to say a child has a well-rounded education, such a child must develop within three domains of learning. We call it the taxonomy, Bloom's taxonomy of education, and you looked at the cognitive domain, the affective domain, and the psychomotor domain. The cognitive domain has to do with the mental development of the child, whereas the affective domain normally has to do with the emotional, the
Okay.
the the attitude here, whereas the psychomotor, that is where the extracurricular activities comes in, which normally has to do with the physical development of the child. So
Okay.
if you have a child that's developed mentally, that has stability in his emotions, but then that child is not physically developed, you won't say that child or such a person has a well-rounded education. So these activities can be in form of sport, they can be in form of social, they can be in form of recreational, but they help. In a way, they have a way of helping to complement the other domains that I talked about. So if you develop physically, you'll be able to have a healthy and a mental capacity to be able to like progress in your educational attainment much more better.
Okay.
So
Okay, let's look at what way does extracurricular activity help the students to develop crucial life skills that are not taught in classrooms.
Okay, I did a personal research and I found it was actually amazing. We have a swimming club. So we normally take our students out for swimming.
Okay.
So I had students that participated in that club,
Oh.
that are members of that club. So I was teaching them swimming, and I had some that did not belong to that club, and I reserved them. I said, let me do a research and see. They don't go for practicals. I was only like discussing with them how to swim, if you enter water and what to do. And the other ones actually participated in the exercise. So and I brought them together. I said, those of you that have been swimming, can you go inside the swimming pool and swim? Let's see. They went in and they did exceptionally well.
Okay.
So the other persons that had only the theory aspect of swimming, I said, can you try? They said, no, sir, we can't try.
Yes,
We can't do it. They said, no, they were scared. So that is just an example. So it gives you like extracurricular activities gives you that platform, that leverage for you to be able to acquire the skills that will help. For example, now, if you have a kid that is interested in football, you can't keep the child in the school and be telling you that this is how to play midfield, this is how to play
Without
wing,
taking the child to the field.
without taking the child to the field. So it gives you an opportunity, a platform for you to be able, for that child to be able to develop such skills that will enable such a child to be able to attain that which the child really wants to become in life.
Okay. So does this help them in their performance in the academic section?
Oh yeah, sure it does. Like I have a child that he tends to understand more when you bring out the practical aspect of something than when you are just saying, okay, theory. For example, now if you are teaching children agriculture and you want to teach them about now you want to teach them about budding, how to bud a plant.
Okay.
And then what you are doing is in the class. But by the time you take them out and you bring the plant, you bring the bud, you say, okay, you bring the knife, you say, okay, this is how you do it, this is how you cut the plant, this is how you bud it. Believe me, by the time they come back and you ask them that, what do you learn? You discover that such a child will be able to perform better. He will do better.
Yeah.
And of course, they've been doing better. Those that kids, our children that are exposed to these real-time physical experiences tend to develop much more better than those that maybe just What they do is just study theory through without having the practical experience.
So are you also saying that it fosters teamwork?
Of course, it does. Now, we normally at Benford International School. I always mention that because that's where I'm coming from, and it will be hard for me to do justice. So we it does a lot. If you go to a classroom learning, normal teaching learning experience, what you have there is more or less a competition against cooperation.
Okay.
Yes, because if you go to a class and you have children, what they're actually aiming is like, okay, let me carry first, let me carry second, I want to be the third, I want to make sure I'm topping the class.
Okay.
So that leverage for them to have cooperation in a classroom setting is not normally necessarily there. But by the time you take them out and you say, okay, kids, today I want you to produce a hand fan for me.
Okay.
Then you see that all of them will want to like, okay, how do you do it? Okay, let's say I assign you that, okay, you people should do it this way. And as we are teaching them, as they are learning, that team spirit is created in them. Okay,
Okay.
the team spirit, the sharing of ideas is gotten more outside the extracurricular activities where there's less competition, but more of cooperation.
Yes.
So it's very, very key. It's very, very important. It helps a lot.
So, can you elaborate on how these activities can enhance, time, how do you call it? Enhancing time management, organizational skills,
Yes, it does a lot. Now, the normal learning process, like I said, is more of a cognitive domain affair, where all children do that, they just need to develop their brain. But by the time they go out there, they have life experiences. I will give you one. We did a spelling bee recently, last month. There was a spelling bee in Abuja, and
Okay.
amazingly, our school came first. So
Wow.
our school came second and third, rather not first. We came second and third position nationwide.
You must be doing
So
very well.
we're really, really happy. So, but I just want to use the spelling bee to give you an example of time management. In that spelling bee, you give a child that you have a time frame to spell a word.
Mm.
So this child knows that, okay, within this time frame, this is what I'm supposed to do. So it creates conscious. That is an outside school learning environment. Yes, that created, okay, this is time conscious. That spelling bee created a time consciousness in them. And apart from that, these extracurricular activities are not just done. There are time frames for it. There's time for sport, there's time for music, there's time for dancing. So they know
So
that
different activities.
different activities. So they know that, okay, if it's time for music, I should be at music. If it's time for
Okay.
sport, I should be for sport. If it's time for me to come back in class, I should come back in class. So these activities, they're helping.
Okay, so for you, how does it boost the students' morale? Let's put it that way.
Okay, yeah, like we said, a healthy child that is physically strong will always perform better in academics.
Okay.
Now, if we have a child that, for instance, loves dance, I have a child that loves dance. The only thing that motivates him to come to school is dancing. So by the time he said, I'm not going to school, I'm not, and the boy say, oh, you see that uncle that dance, I dance with them a lot. They say, that uncle, if you go today, uncle is going to say, yes, I'm coming. Dancing is actually out of school experience.
Yeah.
But what
But
motivates
parents
him?
wouldn't
Yes.
like to hear that. If that's what will motivate the
People
child to go
dance
to
for
school.
money.
No,
Okay,
people have created careers for them out of
Yes,
dancing.
No, I know, but
Yes, people have created. No, apart from,
for
it's
him
just
not
one
to
of
do
it. It's just an outside,
I understand.
an example. Yes. But he said, okay, I love dancing. So by the time we dance and finish, we go to the classroom, he performs better. But anytime he comes to school, that is the peculiarity of the child. It's not every child.
No, it's
That is the
not.
peculiarity of the child. So by the time he comes to school and we dance and we go to class, he say, yes, uncle, he feels relaxed. So for him, that is what you as a teacher, you are able to identify whatever the peculiarities and uniqueness of your child. And that's what we've been able to do for that particular child. I'm not saying that it's all children are
No,
motivated to
I
come
know,
because
I know. Of course,
So for that
yes.
particular child now, dancing is what motivates him. So if he comes to school and I do not dance with him, that is an off day for him. But the moment with that, even if it's 2 minutes and he goes inside, but yes, he's relaxed and he feels very, very good.
Because when I said here, if you notice, a lot of schools they start off with that dancing. After the assembly, there's a little bit of exercise,
dance,
and
yes.
then with a little music.
Yes.
That should be able to calm that child.
Yeah.
So does it really help in boosting his confidence to be able to stand up and talk in public.
Yes, it does. It does. Like I said, we engage, we make sure that we engage our students so much. We have different clubs. For
Okay.
example, we have the press club,
Mm.
which enables them, which teaches students to be able to like do the job that you two are doing here. So we expose them to a lot of things. Sorry, excuse me. We expose them to avenues, platforms that
Okay.
can help them to be able to express themselves freely. Because no matter how brilliant or good a child is academically, once you are unable to express yourself, you are not there. Because somebody told me that the moment you open your mouth, you've told the whole world who you are.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very,
Wow.
very, yes, it's very,
What a
very
way to
key.
put it.
Yes.
Honest.
So we expose our children to that, and extracurricular activities help them a lot to be able to boost their confidence. We take them out and expose them to a lot of things. And I really want to use this opportunity to appreciate you people, because you gave us a platform and we brought our kids there. And when we got home, they were so excited. They said, "Yeah, we love it, we love it." So I want to use this opportunity to also appreciate you people for giving us
Thank
that
you.
platform.
Thank you.
Thank
And we
you.
hope one day to see them here doing
Sure,
what
sure.
we're doing.
We'll be very, very glad. I'm sure they will.
So, a little word to those kids, the parents that can help these children. Okay, how do you now help your child apart from what the school does? How do the parents come in and help that child?
Okay, yeah, I want to say that extracurricular activities is not just for the kids. It's a
Okay.
holistic approach.
Mm.
It involves the parents, it involves the teachers. Because for the teachers, if you are not healthy, if you are not strong, you can't teach. So for the parents at home, you need to encourage the
The
your
child.
words, your child or
Okay.
your words. You can do that by way of you yourself exercising. Today, we have parents that are extremely busy, they are very busy. But create time for your child. Create time and look at what your child loves. Children have, like I said, children have differences.
Mhm.
Your child could love sports. Your child could love singing. Your child could love painting. He or she could love music. So just identify that thing. And no matter how busy you are, just find the time as a parent and make sure that maybe what you learned from school today, can we do a little singing? It does not take much for a mother to sing. It could be a cultural dance. You as a parent, you can teach, because today we live in a world that parents, most of our children, they don't know our culture. They don't know. So
You're
it's a
right.
responsibility as a child. That is not a normal learning environment, but you can teach them
At least start by speaking
by speaking your language.
Yes.
We speak a lot of English, which is good. It's a universal language, but we shouldn't forget where we are coming from. So as a parent, we have a lot of responsibility on our hand to make sure that we engage the student. It helps us too. Because by the time you engage the student at home within the little time that you have, by the time they come to school, it helps us too. Rather than just if you allow them at home to just stay like that without doing anything, engage them in the little way that you can.
Okay. I want to also, I somebody once said that not all teachers are teachers.
Okay.
They are supposed to be teaching. That some just picked up the job because there's no other employment. So we still have some teachers, just like your talk. I can see that you have passion. You know what you're doing as a teacher. But there are teachers there who don't know what they're doing. Some of them are unapproachable. The students cannot approach them. You made a statement. He said, come, that teacher that dances, we want to dance with you. And the child says, okay, let me go, because you welcome them. What about those teachers that are not like that?
Okay, you see, teaching, you have trained teachers and you have born teachers.
Okay.
Yes, you have people that are trained to be teachers, yes, and you have people that are born to be teachers.
Those who have passion.
Who have passion for it.
Okay.
Yes, so I would like to say that if you find yourself in a teaching profession, like you said, there are some said they just find because it's an employment for them. I'll encourage training. It's very, very key.
That should come from the school
That
or
should-
personally.
Personal training and from the school also.
Okay.
If you find, because I believe that when you started this job, there's on-the-job training.
Yes.
When you started, you were not the way you are today.
Yes.
So for the training profession, in fact, is the bedrock of any nation at all. Once you don't get it at that level you are at. So you should train yourself as a teacher. There are so many platforms today information today is at our fingertips.
Yeah.
But even if you find yourself in teaching profession that you say, okay, I just want to do your best to give out what you have. Do your best to improve yourself. And I will encourage both the government, the private institutions, stakeholders to come in. Because if we fail to get our teachers correct, it will have a big impact on our negative impact on our educational system. So as a teacher, you need to train yourself. And for those that are operating in the private sector, please endeavor to train your staff. Because if you
Okay.
don't train them and we don't give out what's the best, tomorrow it will hurt us back as a nation. So there's room for training. Even if you're not a born teacher, there is something called training. So you should go for it.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
We
so
really
much.
appreciate you being
Thank you.
here.
Yes,
Thank
thank you so much.
Thank you
We've
for
been
having me.
talking with Mr. Wuna Otamen. Okay, he is a teacher and he has been talking to us about extracurricular activities to improve learning. And we heard all he said. Even if you're not a born teacher, go and train. And then also that extracurricular activities helps to boost the morale of our children. And it does a lot. From all he has said, you can see that it's just necessary for us to do that. Thank you so much. Thank you.